Today on the Luke Branquinho Show.
I have never been really afraid to try anything. I've never been afraid to fail. It's ironic because failure is like my worst fear. But I've never had a problem putting myself out there. I got on my first bull because it was a dare.
Cody, I got to ask, Entertainer of the Year, CMAs, where were you at when you heard the news that you were nominated? Going on stage, the nerves compared to getting on a bull.
It's way different. I'm really good at what I do on stage, so I don't get nerves. It's so weird. I've never told anybody. I've never told anybody this.
Welcome to the Luke Branquinho Show. I told you all I'd have him back on, and here he is, 2025 CMA Entertainer of the Year nominee, Cody Johnson. Cody, thanks for coming back with me, man.
Thanks, bud. Thanks for coming back down here in the beautiful tack room.
Absolutely, it's perfect setting. So, nomination for Entertainer of the Year, and
Male Vocalist of the Year, Music Video of the Year with Carrie Underwood, and Musical Event of the Year with Carrie Underwood. So, thank you, Carrie.
You guys get all that?
It's a lot.
November in Nashville. Just so you know, like in my industry, the Entertainer of the Year is the gold buckle. Absolutely.
I mean, I've never won one, so I'm hoping.
We're all hoping for you. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Knowing you for as long as I have known you, and the work you put into it. And that I want to talk a little bit about that, but outside of the music, because you got so much going on.
Yeah.
Here, just family life.
We had mold in our house 2 years ago. We moved to this ranch. This tack room that we're sitting in, there was just these stalls on this side, and it was kind of open-ended. And if you got the wrong kind of storm, this whole thing was just wet. And so I added on what you guys can't see is a completely different side of this barn where I put an office, and we redid the arena. I built a new set of working pens in the top pasture up by Highway 21. Then we've got another set of working pens that we built, redid a hay barn, or built a hay barn and redid a horse barn over there in the middle pasture. We got the mold out of the house. And then I screwed up and said, babe, God's blessed me with a great job. We can afford it. Make it how you want it.
There you go. Well, and just to add some context to that, and I'm going to let him in because I'm sure you will too. You've been living in a single wide for the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. So picture this, Cody Johnson, we've seen him blow up the last several years. He is in a single wide. Just keep that into perspective.
I told somebody the other day, I'm the only guy that puts on his gold watch, gets picked up by the driver, goes to the jet, flies out, plays 2 sold-out shows, makes a pile of money, comes back on the jet, gets in the driver's service car, and go to my single wide. Where I screwed up was when I told Brandy to make it how she wanted it. Because now the front yard is the backyard.
And the pool.
The pool had to come out. So It's a new pool, which if you're going to have a pool, you need to have a pool house, the casita.
That overlooks the lake.
Yeah, that overlooks the lake. And that wall's got to come out. And the staircase needs to move over here. So, and we're putting a Spanish slate roof that we're going to have to completely re-engineer the foundation for.
Boy.
And when we get through with it, it's going to be perfect. Every time I walk in that trailer house, and there's nothing wrong with the trailer house. I grew up in one, but I didn't see myself at this stage in my career moving into a trailer house.
What, another 6 months, 8 months-ish?
I would say about another 6 months. And, honestly, I look at it as God has a way of keeping you humble, no matter what the situation is. So keeps my feet on the ground and my head from getting too big.
Well, obviously with the 2 girls and the new one on the way, you don't want them getting too fancy this young age, right?
My kids are as spoilt as you can be, but they don't like buy into it. Like they're very well taken care of, but they live very they think very normal. They don't expect, the funniest thing I would say is, we were going to take the kids down to Houston to go see the Dude Perfect show. We just recorded a show with them where Tyler Tony got on a bull, and he said, man, I'd love for you to bring your kids down to Houston. And Clara asked, are we taking the jet? And my answer was, no, we're taking the Prevost bus. And then I thought about it. I'm like, there is a certain aspect of their childhood that's way different than most, but they don't act like it. They're not spoiled brats at all. I've been blessed with awesome daughters, and they are my 2 best friends in the world besides Brandy, and a little boy on the way.
What was it that made you want to get into more of the team roping side of things, from that aspect of it?
I have never been really afraid to try anything. I've never been afraid to fail. It's ironic because failure is like my worst fear, but I'd never had a problem putting myself out there. I got on my first bull because it was a dare. And then I just entered up in high school rodeo, and then I amateur rodeoed for a while. And, I ride it because of bull riding. I think that's where my cutting horse comes from.
Mm-hmm.
I ride a cutting horse pretty well. And I don't have a problem saying that because it just kind of feels so natural.
Right.
A lot of guys get psyched out. They're pulling on their horn instead of pushing on their horn. And there's something about just getting in there and sitting down and really reading that cow and letting that pretty high dollar performance horse do his job and stay out of his way. But team roping was something that really, I would say Colby Lovell's probably responsible for it. I'm in the Teos Vaqueros, and I had jumped some horses and tried it, and not very good, and no coaching.
Right.
But whenever I started hanging out with Colby in 2020 and really getting lessons, riding a ton of different horses before I owned horses, and really getting the foundation there, the rest was history. It's kind of a drug, and
absolutely.
It's a lot like golf. Some days you have problems that you cannot figure out, and then you go to the pro and say, "What is it?" He's like, "Oh, you got like 3 inches too much slack between your hands." And you're like, "That was it?" And then you're cracking racks, and but I've become a pretty successful team roper for a low-numbered guy, and I think I've earned the respect of the guys in the industry, and that feels pretty good because that little kid that was not raised around it always dreamed about it.
Well, when we were in the arena riding, seeing the girls, how well they're doing right now. Obviously, you staying hooked with it and roping and having this place for them, having the horses for them. They just absolutely loved it. Mm-hmm. I mean, just get on, lope around there, and it's awesome to see the youth getting to be that well at such a young age.
Well, I just wanted them to have that life, because I always wanted it growing up. And, I don't push it on them, though. If they want to go ride, let's go ride.
Yeah.
I'm not the dad that's going to be like, "Hey, get up. It's time to go." Because I don't want to burn out. I want them to figure out what is it that you really want to do. For instance, golf. Like we just started golfing, and it's fun to go out there to the lake and hit golf balls into the lake and just or go to the little course right up here up the road and play. And none of us are that good. They're better than I am. But let them try on new things. And I said something about playing golf in college, and then you're like, "You can go pro." And Clara said,
"In college?"
Yeah, nice. I said, I'm like, "You can make some good money." She's like, "Golf can't pay that much." And so I started looking up the LPGA.
Right.
She's like, "Well, I kind of wanted to go get an ag business degree." I said, "If you're a pro golfer with an ag business degree, they're going to talk about that. That's Absolutely. A good thing. You've got a backup plan, baby." I was like, "Take all the dreams you want. Chase all of them." And I hate to quote my own song, but chase every dream you can.
100%.
Because you never know what it'll lead to.
Well, and to that point, listening to your music and your songs, I think a lot of those lyrics transition into exactly that.
Yeah.
You're telling people, chase the dream, go and get it. Go and
get it.
As many as you can. But that's a lot of your music, I feel like.
That's my favorite line in any song I've ever recorded is "Till You Can't," where it says a dream won't chase you back.
Right.
It's not going to come knock on the door and say, "Hey, would you like to become a successful doctor, or would you like to be a millionaire, or would you like to be a pro rodeo star?" You got to go get it, man. You got to wake up and go get it. So I'm waiting for them to find that thing that they want to wake up every day and go get, Like I made fun of Clara the other night. I said, "You only want guitar lessons when it's time to go to bed. If you'll ask me during the day, I would be glad to sit down with you. But now it's bedtime and you need to go to bed. We're not doing guitar lessons at 9:30 at night."
All right, well, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk more to Cody about his reaction when he heard about his nomination for Entertainer of the Year. Welcome back to the Luke Branquinho Show. My guest, Cody Johnson. Cody, I got to ask, Entertainer of the Year, CMAs, where were you at when you heard the news that you were nominated?
I don't know. It was a text message that, my phone blew up. And actually, Luke Combs was one of the first people to text me, and he said, "Dude, Entertainer of the Year, let's freaking go." And I thought, man, I actually texted him and said, "You deserve it more than me." Luke was the guy that was touring overseas. 4 years ago, I went with him to Australia, New Zealand. He's playing all over the world. And, we've had these conversations of how important it is to take this music all over the world.
Right.
This year, we've played the United States, Canada, Brazil, Ireland, Scotland, England, 4 shows in Australia and New Zealand. We're talking about maybe playing in Germany.
Wow.
Going to France. We're talking about doing South Africa. And taking this stuff across the world, because you don't realize it, like George Strait never did a world tour. Elvis Presley never played outside of the United States.
I figured they would have.
Well, and that's part of, you think about all the places you went and the things that you went and did for that gold buckle.
Right.
For me, it's taking it not only just playing and saying, okay, well, I'm going to be a big star in the United States. It's like, no, let's go global.
Global.
Let's do it as big as we possibly can. And that's the kind of stuff that gets you in the running for that Entertainer of the Year. But I try not to think about that stuff because what's the old lonesome dove? Is it Gus McCrae said, if you want the one thing too much, it's likely to disappoint you. And I can tell you, if I win Entertainer of the Year, just like that gold buckle,
Yeah.
I'm just going to go to, I want another one.
Right.
I want another one. I was recently honored with the ACM Honors Spirit Award. It's the Spirit of Merle Haggard. And I thought,
wow.
now that was the first award that I've accepted that I was kind of proud of. That I was like, I mean, I'm proud of all of them. I don't want it to sound like that. But really kind of step back and like, man, that felt like a real accomplishment. I felt so honored, But I don't know. I want the Entertainer of the Year thing, but there's other people that deserve it too.
Well, but you put in the work. I mean, anybody that's followed your career noticed you put in the work. And going back to starting your career, did you ever, when you picked up that guitar and started playing, like, man, I'm gonna have a chance at the award like this?
Oh no! And if you come to one of my shows, you're gonna see it at some point in the night where I'll just stop and stand there and look around, and the crowd's just going nuts because they can see, like, I'm actually like, dang, look at this, man.
Right.
And a lot of times I'll look back at Jody, my fiddle player, and he's just shaking his head like, I know. It's pretty crazy. A couple of kids that just picked up some instruments, and all of a sudden, 20 years later, it's like, look at this, dude.
Here you are.
This is amazing. And I genuinely appreciate it. I'm not one of those people that expects it. Mm-hmm. I treat it just like a rodeo run, too, where I want to watch the film. How could I have been better? Mm-hmm. How could I have been faster? Yeah. Did I jump the steer too early? Did I wait too long? How was my score? So I treat it like that, where on Friday night, everybody's like, man, that's a great show. And I'm like, yeah, but I left that on the table. I screwed that up. I got lost here. I felt like I could have done this better. But so the very next night, Saturday night, I come in with a different type of aggression.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to make those same mistakes, even though nobody saw the mistakes.
Lindsay would say the same thing about me, like, great run. I'm like, no, I could have done something a little better, just little tweaks here and there. Yeah, but you won first. It's stuff I noticed.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
You don't get the gold buckles or the Entertainer of the Year without worrying about those things. Right. Losing Male Vocalist of the Year to Chris Stapleton. You just tip your hat and go, he's the man. He's one of the best singers in the world. So, hats off to you, buddy. Yeah. But I will say that getting nominated for Entertainer of the Year at the ACMs, I was like, I didn't get it. But it's okay. It's one more thing that keeps you driving for more. Yeah. Drive for more.
Continuing the progress and getting better, like you said. You could always fix something to get a little bit better. Yeah,
and it's that way in the studio too. We got Album of the Year, and I was so excited because that's me and Trent Willman working our tails off, and Jack Clark, all of our studio musicians that we use, my band. I mean, everybody, all the work that goes into it, from Chris Lacey at Warner and Scott Gunner and all these people pitching that. We get pitched thousands and thousands of songs to get down to this one album. So you win Album of the Year, and I'm like, well, it's time to go in and cut another one, and it needs to be better than that one.
Right.
How can we make it better? How can we make it better? And it's kind of hard because you don't want to be like self-deprecating, where it's like, I feel like I'm always trying to outdo myself, but at the same time, it's like you always want to be better.
To that point, and I experienced in my career, you could almost put too much pressure on yourself to where
very fine line.
Yeah, you hit a wall and like, I can't get over this. Mm-hmm. Instead of just stepping back and going, okay, what do I need to do different here?
Yeah, for instance, so this album that's going to be released next year, if it doesn't get Album of the Year, that doesn't mean I didn't do my job.
Right.
I've been doing a lot of collaborations. I just recorded a song with Brandon Lake. We did one with CeCe Winans, Michael Martin Murphy.
Oh, wow.
There's all kinds of stuff and honestly, this all started for me this year whenever I found out that Brandy was pregnant. As soon as we found out the due date in October-ish, I was like, I'm taking everything that I was going to spread out for the rest of the year, and I'm going to work my tail off. I'm tired. Like I've worked harder this year than I ever have in my life, so that when that little boy is born, I'm shutting everything off. And all the work's already in the bag.
Yeah.
And Relevancy, I'm going to have stuff being released all through the winter and the fall, all into the spring, and I'm going to be at home rocking a baby because I put in the work now.
Put in the work now to take care of the home time. You're able to stay here, be with family, help Brandy, whatever you need to do.
Yep, that's it. And That's the most important thing to me. So I've decided, and Brandy was like, Jesus, I've never seen you run this hard. I'm like, I'm trying to get it all done. That way, whenever he shows up, I can be at home. The public still sees me all the time on socials and all that stuff, but it's already in the can.
Yeah.
People are going to be calling me about stuff and be like, yeah, I did that 6 months ago.
Just smart business. Smart business.
Just trying to get ahead of it, because that family is the most important thing in my life.
Well, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll have more with Cody Johnson. Welcome back to the Luke Branquinho Show, here with my good friend Cody Johnson. Cody, we talked about things in your life, from music to rodeo. I got to ask, going on stage, the nerves compared to getting on a bull.
It's way different. I'm really good at what I do on stage, so I don't get nerves. It's so weird. I've never told anybody this. About 2 hours before the show, it's shower, eat, I'll give you a cup of coffee or a Red Bull or something. You know, you do your radio room where you shake your hands, you do the meet and greet where you're taking the pictures. And from that point on, I'll start gagging. Oh. Like I'll get nervous. Like I can feel that adrenaline starting. And then as soon as I walk to the stage, it's like Conor McGregor. Just like, let's get in the ring. Let's go. Like, I cannot wait to get on stage.
Wow.
And that's why when you see me hit it, I'm just like, let's go.
Right.
As soon as the show's over, it's like a very calm, no, my hands aren't shaking. It's very calm. I'll sit down on my table, usually call my wife. I'll have a cocktail and just relax. And it's like all of a sudden, it's just peaceful.
Right. And
it goes away. But with riding bulls, there's the aspect that you could lose your life or get hurt, which I came close to a lot. That's a totally different type of physicality.
Right.
I think that the physicality of that adds a different element. So I would say that about the same adrenaline, just very differently compartmentalized.
Yeah. Well, it has to be, right? I mean, obviously you're not riding bulls anymore. Mm-hmm. Just you're transitioning over into the performing side of it. With the band, I mean, do they help kind of, how is it like before the show with the band? You guys all gather up, hang out? I mean,
now that we're playing these bigger venues, we have the tuning room. I have my own room during the day if I want to go inside, and the tuning room is fun. So we have actually one of my old Holland partners, Codrick Murphy. I hired him as my hospitality guy. So he sets up what we call the boom boom room, and it's a full bar, and it's decorated, and it's got lights, and it's got snacks, and it's a really cool music. It's a cool hang. And then he sets up the tuning room, and it's basically just instruments, and it's couches and pipe and drape. Where before the show, all we do is get in there for about an hour and just BS. Like, we're cracking jokes. Some guys, you'll see it. The closer we get to showtime, you'll start seeing guys sneak over into the corner and pull their hat off and say their prayer, and I do that too. And we all got to it's like a football team. Each one of us has our own handshake with each other, boom, 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 and we're getting pumped. I'll be doing jumping jacks, and I'm an old bull rider, so right before I go on stage, I'll slap myself in the face on both sides a couple of times. Wake up, Johnson, it's time to go. We get together, everybody has a little small shot glass of Grand Marnier, and we kind of talk about the night. Sometimes it's like, look, this is the first time this venue's ever been sold out twice. Do not stub your toe when you walk out on the stage.
Right.
Those people are expecting what they're expecting.
Greatness.
Give it to them.
Yeah.
Tonight we bring greatness to the table. Let's go kick them in the teeth. Let's just go have fun. Do we not have the coolest jobs in the world?
Welcome back to Luke Branquinho Show. We're going to wrap up with Cody Johnson, but I got to say, you're looking sharp, man. Tell me about
make
this
me blush.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I'm excited about this. This is our Cody Johnson collection by Wrangler. I designed with Wrangler every pattern down to the name on the inside of the button and the piece of the trim here and the material and the fit. We've got the 01 Relax Fit. You've got the 02 Slim Fits. A lot of different washes, and it's something that I want to wear. And it's been selling really well, and I see a lot of shirts and jeans at my shows, and pretty proud of it. I'm excited. And those are those little things that are outside the songs,
right?
That I'm like, man, I'm doing my best to provide for my family, and you know, because eventually music may go away someday. And it's like, man, at least I've got this going, and it's doing really. Big shout out to Wrangler for believing in me for that.
Well, looking sharp, like I said.
Thank you, buddy.
Looking sharp. Okay, rapid fire question, just a couple.
Okay.
Favorite bull rider?
JB Mooney.
Favorite bull?
Oh, well, hold on.
Oh. Not rapid
Present
fire.
or past bull rider?
Let's go present and past.
Tough Edom and JB Mooney.
Yeah. Well, they're both past.
Not technically. Anyway,
JB's
next rapid fire.
Yeah, okay. Favorite bull?
I always liked Long John. Long John was probably my favorite. That or reindeer dipping.
Oh, reindeer dipping. He was. You never knew what he was dipping.
I know.
All right, last one. Favorite healer?
Luke Branquinho.
We're going to end it right there. Cody, thanks for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it again.
Had a blast.
You guys can't appreciate you enough for watching, and we'll catch you at the next one.